I'm on here early today and I didn't even schedule this. So, yeah, I'm probably going to wait a little bit for some people to come in here because wasn't nobody going to get the notification because I didn't schedule this live stream. I kind of just wanted to hop on here. I don't even think this live stream is going to be all that long, but I really wanted to make or I really wanted to do a live stream where I was how do I explain it? I was talking to you guys and not at you guys. And I don't know, like I just had thoughts lately in regards to my relationships and how I view men and kind of why I don't have really a crazy expectation in dealing with men. I mean, I don't deal with them no more anyway. So um it's not like this is something that I'm actively doing because as y'all know, I don't date anybody, man or woman. I legit think at this point I'm asexual. I think I'm probably going to make a video about that next, about how I legit believe I'm asexual at this point. Um so also don't forget to subscribe. You guys know what to do, all that good stuff, right? So I, for most of my life, I've just really never had an expectation from men. I really don't have one. And the reason why I don't have an expectation from men is because me personally, I just refuse to make myself useful. And so, because I refuse to make myself useful to a man, I don't expect anything in return. Any man that's come into my life, any man that's decided to do things for me, they simply did it because they wanted to do it for me. It's really that simple. I never had to pull a man's arm or force a man or beg a man to do anything for me because they just simply wanted to do it. They chose to make themselves useful. And if there was at any time that I wanted to make myself useful, it was just simply because I chose to. So there has never really been an expectation that I've had for men because of that reason. And I have 10 reasons, breaking this kind of down more as to why I don't expect anything from men in relation to me knowing what I'm willing and what I'm not willing to do. Okay. The first thing, I really don't expect anything from men because I'm not going to audition for this role of being an unpaid life assistant to a man. I'm just not doing that. Okay. Um, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not scheduling fucking doctor's appointments. I'm not trying to teach a man how to be empathetic. Um, I'm not trying to be a therapist to nobody. And so therefore, why would I expect anything back? I'm not going to offer any free labor to a man. And so therefore, I don't expect any. And yeah, I don't expect anything because in my head I look at it like this, if I can be self-sufficient on my own, why would you need me to come into your life and do all of these things for you? If I got it on my own and I can do it on my own, what's the purpose? You know what I'm saying? I just don't really see the point in that. Another thing, I don't put male validation on a pedestal. Okay. And I kind of feel like one of the key things with decentering men is learning how to take male validation off of the pedestal that you've been conditioned to have it on. Okay. Because it's not worth anything. It's not worth anything to be gaining male validation because men live in their lower nature. Men think with their dick. So You gaining male validation is just simply you getting confirmation that a man wants to fuck you. Like, and I'm being really blunt with it. I'm being really blunt with it because women just like this delivery better. So that's the reason why, because y'all like it with, you know what I'm saying? Y'all like it when I'm blunt like that. But really, that's all male validation affords you. All male validation affords you is just you look good enough in order for them to want to sleep with you. That's really it. And in my personal opinion, I really don't think that that's something that should be prioritized. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be constantly my brain. I'm a woman. My brain is not revolving around having sex with a man. It's just not. So when you get older and like you start realizing that really that's what men care about anyway, that's their number one priority is just them sleeping with somebody. You realize that like the male validation that you're trying so hard to gain from men, it's a waste of time. It's not worth anything. Okay? Like it's not worth anything. And the thing about it is that men's standards are too low. If it was nothing but cockroaches, human sized cockroaches that they could stick something in, they would be doing the cockroaches. Okay? Like trust me, men are not going to go without. They're just going to go to the next option. So then you really have a come to Jesus moment and you're like, this stuff is really not worth anything. Really not worth anything. And because of that, like I'm not going to trade my self-worth and like the value that I see within myself for male validation because I understand that the value that I see within myself, it gains me much more in life than what male validation will ever be able to get me. And one thing that I really do like pray and wish and hope for women is that they can get to a point in their life where they feel how I feel in regards to your value and your self perception. I really want women to just get to the point where they can look at themselves in the mirror and they can like reflect on your character, who you are, where your morals lie, and like you understand that that's enough. And when you do enough work into yourself and you really, really commit yourself to do the work that you value it so much that you would never want to put yourself in a predicament where you would want to sacrifice it in order to gain the favor of a man, because that's really, really, really important. Very, very important. And I remember like I've always been a serial dater because I've just never been one for a long-term commitment with a man. My longest relationship was 2 years. I was never cut out to marry somebody. I was never cut out to have a long-term commitment with somebody. And I would notice after every relationship I was done with, I would always look back at the relationship and I would be like, every time I would get in a relationship, I would get like a setback in life. It would set me back somehow in life, whether it be financially, mentally. Most of the time, it was emotional. Most of my setbacks within a relationship has always been emotional because the emotion, like honestly, the emotional drainage that you have to go through with dealing with a man, it's large. It's very, very large because it's like, think of all the emotions that you have to invest to deal with the man. You have to constantly hope that you're performing enough for him to be impressed. You got to make sure that you look good enough so that way he doesn't cheat. You got to make sure that you sleep with him often enough so that way he doesn't cheat. You got to make sure that you're saying things in the right tone, in the right way to make sure that you don't emasculate him. Make sure you don't disrespect him. That's too much fucking work. I'm sorry. That is too much fucking work. I don't even have to go into my own workplace and walk on eggshells to that extent to keep my fucking job. And you mean to tell me that I have to put all of this thought process into being able to keep a man? No. I'm not doing that shit. That's way too much work, because also the thing about it is that on the flip side, these men are not giving an ounce of thought about the actions that they're partaking in impacting you. Like the level of emotional labor that women do in comparison to men in a relationship is like tenfold. Like men, when men are out late and like you have a relationship and a man's telling you like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get home at 8 p.m. and then it's 10 p.m. and he's not home. And then it's 12 a.m. and he's still not home. This man is not thinking about the fact that you're over here freaking out because you don't know if he's been in an accident. He's not thinking about the fact that you're over here crying, over here thinking about the fact like, oh, you're over here trying to picture your life. You're calling the hospitals, trying to see if there was any accident with your husband and he's in the hospital. Like these men are not even thinking, they're not even thinking about the level of like worry that you have due to their lack of communication. They're just simply like, yeah, well, I mean, as long as I know that I'm alive, then it's fine. It won't matter. It's totally fine. It's not that big of a deal. Um, so when you think about all that emotional like effort that you're putting in with a man, and then it's just like all you get to say at the end of the day is that you have a man, is just kind of like, that's what I'm doing all of this for. This is what I'm worrying myself for, just to say that I have a man. Like, and I can't do anything with that. I can't do anything life changing with that. No. So for me personally, male approval is just not a form of currency. It's not a useful form of currency. Having a man, or saying that you're able to have a man, is good for the pride. It's great for the ego when you're still rooted in that, but I'm not rooted in my pride and ego to really give a fuck. So the validation approval that a man would ever give me, like, I don't expect a payout from that because I don't value it. Right. And I'm not going to like sit here and perform femininity in order to get like the crumbs of affection that men give you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to sit here and contort myself and constrict myself to do certain things or to not do certain things just for male validation. To me, that's stupid. Honestly, it is. I still am at the point where I'm like, I can't believe that women are still in the shackles of caring about male validation. Honestly, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But like, I get it when you're still rooted in your ego and your pride, and it's really, really important to you. But once you grow up and you break out of that, you realize that it's not worth anything. Another reason, um, a lot of the time, like dealing with men, like, okay, even if I were to make myself useful to a man, in order for that to be matched, like in order for there to be reciprocity, it requires a lot of effort for men, because men do not normally do the things in their daily life that a woman is doing, or they're not doing it to the level that a woman is doing. So even if I were to make myself useful, I'm never going to get full reciprocity. And so I'm not going to sit here and do backflips for a man just for me to be able to get the bare minimum. Like, because the thing about it is that, like, making myself useful for like what, like some compliments and like the most likely broken promise of loyalty from the man. Once again, that's not worth anything. It's not worth anything. And it's like, I'm talking about all of this stuff because I finally finished. If y'all are on TikTok, you guys have got to watch the Danish Deception. It's like a 26-part story time that this Nigerian woman gave over how she ended up going on vacation, and she met this Danish man, and he conned her and like several people and even her family. And just like watching the level of like performing that she was willing to do, in the fact that She did all that performing, and not only did she not get a return on her investment, but she had more taken away from her. Like, she got into that she left that relationship having less than what she had before she went into the relationship, and I would beg to say that in most cases, when you're making yourself useful to a man, once that relationship ends, you're gonna walk away with less than what you had before you got into the relationship. Like, you're lucky if you break even. Honestly, you're lucky if you break even. You're super lucky if you get more than what you had before the relationship. Like, because that's the goal of men. The goal of men, they want to come out on the other side of the relationship getting more than what it is that they had. And guess what? Her husband ended up leaving her, and she was begging for her husband to come back. She literally was begging. Thank you, Dita. Appreciate you. She was begging for a man that was a lying, scamming, addicted gambler back after he had like stolen a combined like $300,000 from like several people, including her own family. And so in my head, I'm like, it it's witchcraft. It has to be witchcraft, because the fact that she actually was fighting for this man to come back, but he ended up leaving her because she was on to him, and it was getting to the point where it was like, he's not going to be able to keep lying about this stuff. Honestly, he's not going to keep being able to lie about this stuff. And so he realized, you want to know what? I have to get a divorce because I'm not going to be able to get any more money from her. She's asking me about like the money that I'm sending to her, or the money that I'm sending to her family. Supposedly never sent the money. She's getting intel from her friends. And mind you, like, she never told her friends about this shit. She didn't tell her friends until like the very, very end of everything. So like no one even knew to be able to like warn her or help her or anything like that. And then the friends that did tell her like, oh yeah, he owes me X amount of money. He owes us $200,000. She pretty much turned a blind eye to that. Like, she figured that it was something that they could like overcome together. So when I was like hearing all of that stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I would never put myself in a predicament ever to perform that hard for a man, because you're leaving with less than what you started with. Point blank, period. You're never going to get the reciprocal. And the thing about it is that like he talked a really good game, because he kept trying to sell her the dream of the fact that you're going to get reciprocated. You're going to get a return on your investment after you have paid me out all of this money. And so that's like what kept her there, because that's what men often do. Men always want the woman to invest first. They want you to be the first person to prove that you'll make yourself useful. The easiest way for you to get played by a man is to prove how useful you can be, because they want to make sure that you prove your investment first, right? They want you to put your body in harm's way of getting an STD or getting pregnant, because they want to be able to have sex with you before they want to be able to commit to you. They want to put you at risk with your emotions and your finances before they want to take things to the next level, to want to go on ahead and marry you. They want you to invest your youth and your beauty and your time and all of that stuff before they want to give you a ring. They want you to prove how useful you can be, and they want you to be the one to put the investments into them, just for the hope of getting a ring. Like, there's not even a guarantee to this shit. There's not. And then some women will go so far on the deep end, they'll invest their whole body. They'll invest their body and give a man a child, hoping that that will be enough of an investment to get the ring. Like, they always want you to put yourself in harm's way first, because men know that if the shoe were on the other foot, men would never they would never be the first one to invest if they had the cards dealt that women have, because this is the reason why is it that women take on the most risk? Why do we have the person that would have to take on the more risk have to be the one to invest first? That's crazy. Men can sleep around and they don't have to worry about getting pregnant. They don't ever have to worry about getting pregnant. they are socialized to not really have a much emotional investment. So they don't have to worry a great deal about them being emotionally absent impacting their relationship. And even that girl said from the Danish Deception, this man was so emotionally closed off that she was actually happy when he exposed his gambling addiction to her. Like, can you imagine that? Because a man won't talk to you and be vulnerable with you, you're impressed by the fact that he's just telling you that he has a gambling addiction. When in reality, you should be absolutely repulsed by that. You should be absolutely impulsed by that. And you wanna know what's funny? So actually I dealt with a man and like he told me straight away. He told me straight away that he had a gambling, that he was a gambler. He told me straight away. But you want to know what I did? I made sure that I was getting a piece of his earnings from the gambling. I did. I made sure that I was getting a piece of the earnings from the gambling because he just told me straight away. He was like, "Listen, I do like to gamble." So I was like, as long as I can get some money from like you gambling for a little bit, like we can do this thing. Obviously, that didn't last very long. You know, we didn't deal with each other, but I made sure I got something out of the fact that you're fucking gonna be gambling. Like, come on, this needs to make sense. So, um, yeah, that was funny. That was funny. And then he tried to I knew I definitely wasn't taking this guy seriously. Like, I really just was dealing with this guy for money. Okay. I was dealing with this guy for money because number one, he had a baby mama, and I'll never take a man seriously that has a baby mama. I mean, I'm not taking no man seriously, but in the hierarchy of men that I'm taking seriously, a man that has children, no, like, I'm not ever that's the only time I ever dealt with a man that had kids. I am anti dealing with men that have children. I don't care. I don't care if you're 50 years old. I don't care if you're 50 years old and you over here, you got children that are 30 years old. I don't give a fuck. I'm not dealing with no kids at all whatsoever. So, yeah, so that kind of put a nick in there because like also it's one of those things where these men like they're always going to sleep with their baby mama. They are. He thought he could hit me up super late night, and he also was just too he was also just way too sexually forward. I was like, just give me the money, and once the money runs out, I'm not dealing with this. So um, yeah, and so another thing too, well, I kind of already just made this point, but the more useful you can be to a man, like they put that on a pedestal. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be known for how useful I can be to a man. Okay. That is not something that I value. It's not something that I care about. Okay. I don't want it on my resume of like how well I can cook and clean and be in bed and be able to submit to a man. Those are things that I don't value. Okay. So with the expectation, with the expectation of that, no, I'm not entering that. So I don't expect anything from it because men only appreciate women through utility. Like they only, and this is why I find it so funny that men sit here and get mad and they sit here and say they unsubscribe. Yeah, YouTube unsubscribed like a ton of people. Like I knew I was gonna lose some people because like I naturally lose people whenever I make like child-free content because it's very sensitive. So when I made that video on like motherhood or whatever, the day before there, I was like negative in subscribers. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I get that people are gonna like unsubscribe, but I was like, this is like really strange. So then I had to like post some videos out there and see what the heck was going on because I figured that they unsubscribed some people from me. Thank you for noticing that and unsubscribing. Yeah, make sure y'all check y'all subscriptions because yeah, YouTube is good for unsubscribing people from me, and then you have to go back in and then go on ahead and subscribe yourself, right? Um Oh, this is what bothers me too. So like men will complain about how like the world only sees them based off of what it is that they have, and we only value society. We don't love them unconditionally. But yet when they talk about what they want in a woman, it's all based in her utility. It's based in all of the things that she can do in regards to performance. So it's like when they talk about that in my head, I'm like, you're just trying to make it seem as if you don't value women for the same thing. So women are supposed to like you for just who you are when you have absolutely nothing, but yet you have a laundry list of all of the things that you want women to do for you. Like, mm-mm. I think men are always going to try to sleep with their baby mama. Honestly, I think they're always going to try to, you know, sleep with their mama. Regarding the live stream on the harsh reality of motherhood in France, the leading cause of postpartum mortality is unaliving. And I believe it. I believe it because the thing about it is that, like, I don't have a problem with mothers. It's motherhood, it's how society has created motherhood. It's non communal. And it's a very aggressive way to have mothers create children in the society that we live in. Like it's not a sane, normal way to do things. It's just not. It's not a normal way to do things in society, having a child in these parameters. So, yeah. Yeah, ladies, please. I'm telling you, the man of your life ain't gonna have a baby mama. I promise you. The man of your life ain't ever gonna have a baby mama. Um, you're not gonna be you like just know. I'm sorry. Because the thing about it is that like I do believe in double standards. The reason double standards have to exist. And the reason why double standards have to exist is because men and women are not equal. We're never going to be equal because men cannot give birth. Our brains are different. Our hormones are different. Our social conditioning is different. So there has to be some type of like double standards because we're not raised the same and we're not the same people. I just kind of feel like that is a given. I don't believe that women should deal with men that have children for the simple fact that when you're a woman and you inherit the children of a man's, it's expected that you're going to take care of those children. This is the reason why men say that they don't want single mothers because they're like, I'm not taking care of another person's children. But when the shoe is on the other foot, as a woman, society's already put the role on you that you're a mother. Like you're a mother regardless, like even if it's not your child, like that's your role. So you're always going to inherit another person's child, and the role is always going to be on you to take care of your child and then the children of the person that you're dealing with. Men don't have the onus on them because them as a father doesn't require them to actually be the main caretaker. So this is the reason why like I really 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 loathe when women deal with men with children because you're adding more onto your plate that you really don't need to be adding. And you want to know what? If it keeps you single, so be it. So be it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be adding times two more things onto your plate. Because, yeah, like a lot of time from my experience, whenever there is a woman, I find it very, very rare that when a woman has children and she deals with a man that doesn't have children, they don't abuse the power. Like they get in competition with the child anyway, especially if it's a son. They get very, very territorial over the woman that they're with. And then they start competing with the child. So I really advise women, please don't deal with men that have children. And then another thing too is that Even if he's older and his children are older, if you're younger, if you're significantly younger and you're like the same age as his children, you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems. Even his grown adult children, they're going to feel some type of way because they're going to not like the age gap. They're going to not like, you're as a woman, you're just going to be up against so much more when you deal with a man that has children. Honestly, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to me. Okay, so another reason, okay, I'm not going to be maternal to a grown man, okay? Because the thing about it is that men say this all the time. When it comes to money, men are always saying, "You're an adult, you're a grown woman. You know how to make money. You should be able to take care of yourself." Okay. So let's keep that same energy with everything. You're a grown man. You should be able to know how to handle your emotions. You're a grown man. You should know how to create your own form of sustenance to be able to eat. You're a grown man, able-bodied, two hands, two legs, two arms, 2 feet. You should be able to clean up after yourself. Why is it that the level of dependence on somebody, men only want to measure it in money, but they don't want to measure it in any other way? So when it comes to money, I have to be an adult. But when it comes to anything outside of money, you get to be a fucking kid still. You get to be immature still when it comes to everything else. But I have to be an adult when it comes to money. No, absolutely not. I'm not going to turn into a mother. I'm not going to turn into a mother to raise a grown adult and soothe a grown adult and constantly have to like patch up like his emotional boo-boos, because I'm not going to sit here, because the thing about it is that men cannot reciprocate the level of that level of nurturing back anyway. They cannot. Men are going to usually tell you the same things if you ever come to them with any problems. They're going to say, well, that's just how it is. They're going to say things like, oh, like they'll be very dismissive. Like, I don't think they meant that. I don't think she meant that. I don't think they're trying to come after you. Like, they'll reduce what feelings you have. That way they don't have to think any deeper and like soothe you further. So in their head, they're just like, oh, it's going to go away. Oh, don't worry about it. They don't mean that. Most of the time, that's how men are going to meet you whenever you come to them with any type of like problem or vulnerability or anything like that. They're not going to meet you with the level of nurturing that you would ever be able to give them. That's the reason why I don't nurture them. And that's like the number one complaint I get from men. Like, whenever I'm in a relationship, that's usually the top complaint. The top complaint is that like I'm too masculine in my response to the troubles that like they're acknowledging. But also the thing about it is that like men don't realize that women go through much more, especially emotionally and mentally, on like a regular fucking basis. Like, women have to go to work on their period. Like, women have to go to work before their periods start. And like, I'm one of those people where like, I'm really bad premenstrual. Like, I'm really not the best premenstrual. Dude, when I tell you that like I want to take a knife to someone's neck when it's premenstrual for me, and I got to go to work and I got to pretend like everything is okay. I got to pretend like everything is okay. And then when my period comes, it feels like Freddy Krueger is fingering me. It feels like Freddy Krueger is fucking fingering me, and I got to sit here and be at work while I'm taking care of people at work because I work in healthcare. I got to sit here and take care of people, and I got to have it all together while my insides are literally falling out of myself. And then I got to come home and I got to listen to a man. I got to sit here and listen to a man talk about some like stupid minuscule problem. You know what I mean? I got to hear some man talk to some minuscule problem. And so it's like when I would hear these men complain about like these issues that they would have, it's just like, dude, you don't have issues. Like first world problems in comparison to women, these men have first world problems. And the thing about it is that I don't even have a bad period. Honestly, I probably cramp for a total of an hour the whole time I'm on my period. And that's like that's on a bad period. Like the period I just had, I was more so tired as opposed to like crampy. But a lot of these problems that men have are fucking first world problems. Like it's just this is why men feel some type of way and they say that they don't want to express their feelings. The reason why women get the ick when men express their feelings is because we're supposed to have this high level of empathy and like this high level of nurturing for like really dumb problems. That's the reason why women get the ick. Like men need to go to a therapist before they come to a woman because a therapist will be able to work through things. That way they can like get through all the things that they need to do and they can know how to work through those things alone before they come to just a regular person. Because I'm sorry, women are way stronger than men. Like mentally, emotionally, we're way, way stronger. Like no man is going to be able to survive being like a single mom and having to have a job, like in like having to maintain friendships, having to take care of family members. No man is going to be able to do that. So it's not the vulnerability that gives women the ick. It's what you're considering vulnerability. That's when that's why we get the ick, because it's like that's what you call being vulnerable. That's what you call having emotions. That's what you call opening up. That's not opening up. So it just gives you the ick because it's just like, no. It's just distasteful. Honestly, it's distasteful to hear the things that they complain about and consider it to be a level of vulnerability, right? And another thing too, to avoid this healing, like another reason why I'm not making myself useful to a man is because I'm not going to sit here and fill the void for a man while he avoids doing the work of healing. That's usually how a lot of men use women. A lot of men don't want to go to therapy. They don't want to do the inner work. They don't want to confront their family members. You know what I mean? They don't want to cut off friendships. Like men don't want to do the uncomfortable things. And so to avoid them doing the uncomfortable things, they want to get with a woman and be in a relationship with a woman. And then all the things that they don't want to deal with, then they feel as though, oh, well, I could just dump this off onto the woman that I'm with, and then she'll be able to handle it. And then I won't have to face it anymore. I'm not doing that. I'm not feeling a void for a man because he doesn't want to do the work. I refuse. I'm not participating in that because I don't need that. Like I've done the work. I've went to therapy. I've had hard conversations with my family. I've cut off friendships that were either harmful or non-beneficial to me. I've done the work. You're not going to sit here and dump all this shit on me because you refuse to swallow your pride and go to a therapist because you want to keep lying to yourself to make it seem as if you have all your shit together. I'm not doing that. Okay? Like, I'm not fucking doing that. Another thing, too, having an expectation requires trust, right? You can't have an expectation from someone without trusting the fact that they can meet your expectation. Like you expect to get your paycheck every 2 weeks when you go to work because you trust the fact that payroll is cutting the check. You trust the fact that you're going to get your money. So your expectation is that if it's your pay period to get paid, you're expecting to wake up Friday morning and your money be in your account when you check your mobile banking app. I don't trust men. It's really that simple. I don't trust men, and so I cannot have expectations from a group of people that I don't trust. Because your trust with men is just it will always have to be based on the fact of them not lying to you, right? Trust with men is always going to be rooted on the fact that this motherfucker is not lying, because men men will pay with their words. They will never actually cash the check. They'll write a check with their words and they never will cash it with their actions. I can't trust that. I can't trust the fact that you're writing a check with words and then I go to cash the check and then the shit fucking bounces, because a lot of the time that's what you're going to get with men. Words are not worth anything, right? Words are not worth anything. So I can't have an expectation from a group of people that do not know how to regularly and consistently prove that they're trustworthy. Like I'm sorry, trust has to be earned. And it's like, if men were these trustworthy people, they wouldn't have to keep begging you for trust. Like, why do men have to constantly approach women and be like, trust me, just believe me. Why would I lie to you? Do I have a reason to lie to you? Like, men constantly have to come up with all of these different ways to try to get you to feel comfortable in order for you to want to believe them and to want to trust them. That means that you're not that trustworthy to begin with. That means that men, majority as a collective, are not trustworthy. Because why do men constantly have to put themselves in a predicament where they're begging for someone to trust them? Yeah, that's because you've shown time and time again that you can't be trusted. So I can't have an expectation for you. The expectation that I do have is that you're going to be lying. The expectation that I do have is that you're going to be doing what the last guy did. This is why they have to tell you, I'm not going to treat you like the last guy. I'm not like him. Stop comparing. Stop having you're traumatized. They love to use that. You're traumatized. And that's not fair that you're using your traumatic experience onto me. That's not fair. I'm not like him. And then guess what they do? End up acting exactly like him. They end up acting the exact fucking way like him. No. I'm not gonna sit here and go through man after man after man after man having this expectation based off of what men say just for them to prove to me that they're going to do the same thing. And it's like they want to call you angry or bitter to make you feel guilty for believing your reality. If that makes me angry and if that makes me bitter, then so be it. But what you're not going to be able to say is that I'm stupid. I'd rather be angry and bitter before I'm ever called stupid or foolish. Point blank, period. You ain't never gonna be able to sit here and call me stupid and call me foolish or call me gullible. I'll take angry and bitter gladly. Because an angry and a bitter person, after a while, they ain't gonna be a fool. They ain't gonna be a fool. I'm only angry and bitter when it's not benefiting you. Men always are going to call you angry and bitter because you're not foolish enough to benefit them. No, thank you. You can't shame me into giving you what you want. It's not going to work on me. It ain't going to work on me. And as a woman, like, that really should be your task. That really should be your task, because the thing about it is that men pride themselves on not being played, on not being a sucker, on not being foolish. And I feel like women need to do the same. Like, women serve themselves on a silver platter to be played and manipulated by men. Like, women just be ready, like, here I am, foolish, gullible, naive, ready to be taken advantage of. Men have pride and ego. So men are like, no, I know you're here for money. I'm not going to let you use my money. I know you're here for XYZ. I'm not going to let you take advantage of that. Yeah, because men have enough pride centered around that. I'm the same exact way. No, sir. You are not gonna sit here and play me and whisper sweet nothings. Call me whatever name you want to call me in the book. No, not happening over here. Uh-uh. Another reason why I expect nothing from men. Men are typically only gonna give you something. They only are gonna give unless they're getting something. And I'm not giving anything. Okay, like men are transactional. This is why I find it so funny when men are just like, "Oh, I don't I want you to come over because I don't want to give my money. I don't want to give my money." This is when they want to do these Netflix and chill dates. Well, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't want to spend money on a stranger, but you'll let a fucking stranger come into your house. So you don't want to give your money to a stranger and pay dinner for you and a stranger to get to know each other, but you'll let a stranger come into your home. Yeah, you want the stranger to come into your home because you want to serve up some liquor and you want to get some free feels and get a woman comfortable enough to be able to sleep with her without you investing anything. That's what this really is. We're not going to sit here and try to make it seem as if you're afraid of a stranger. Like, no, we're not going to make it seem like that. You're not afraid of a stranger. You just want to be able to get what it is that you want for the lowest amount of the transaction. You essentially just want to just sleep with someone, and you don't mind sleeping with someone because you understand you don't have to worry about getting pregnant. Meanwhile, this woman is getting all the risk. She can get an STD. She can get pregnant. And not only that, she's coming over to a stranger's home. She could get unalived or R worded. There are a lot of risks that women would have to put themselves because men want to be bargain hunters. And like it needs to be talked about when it comes to like how much of a risk you're taking as a woman in comparison to a man. Because you think a man is going to sit here and if do you think if a man were to come up to another man and say, "Hey, I got $1 million that I want to give you. All you have to do is come over." Do you think that a man is not going to question that? A man's going to be like, he said that he'll give me $1 million if I come over his house. A man is going to be like, I'm not going over a male's house that's a stranger and he's offering me $1 million. That they would already know that that doesn't make sense because it would be another man that they're dealing with. Once you put the shoe on the other foot with how men would deal with another man, then all of a sudden they get it. Then all of a sudden they understand, oh, there are risks involved dealing with men. But because men are just constantly only thinking of their interaction with women, it just flies past them. It's just like an afterthought. They don't think anything of it because in their brain they're like, "Oh, well, these women aren't any I'm not getting pregnant. I don't care if I get an STD, and what's this girl going to do? She's not going to do anything. She's not going to do anything." Another thing too, I expect nothing from men because in my in the way that I see it, I'm the prize. Like I'm the prize. Like I'm putting myself on my own pedestal. Okay? I'm the one putting myself on the pedestal. And so the way that I look at it is that men are always going to benefit more from being in proximity to me. Just from being in proximity to me. Like, come on. Men are not going to want to go to some like work event alone. Like, it looks better when they have a woman with them or a party. It looks better when they have a woman for them, especially when it's like a party that you would like dress up for. So that already tells you that there's a high amount of value that men see in women just by their existence. I have value just based off of existing, so I'm not really going to expect anything. Like, that's the transaction. Like, I don't expect if any person that truly sees the value in women, they're going to understand. They're going to understand the value in a woman, and they would want to do something for you anyway, because they would just get it, and they wouldn't look at it like it was like this terrible thing, like they're giving up so much, like they're doing so much to have this happen. You know what I mean? And another thing too is that when you expect anything, I mean, this is just really a universal thing, but when you expect anything, especially from men, I would say 9 times out of 10, you're going to routinely have disappointment. Honestly, you're going to routinely have disappointment. I don't make the rules, but you're going to be disappointed. You're going to very much so be disappointed, and a life comes with enough disappointments. I'm not trying to sign up for any more than necessary. Okay. And that's just me putting it plainly. I'm not, I'm not trying to constantly be disappointed. And, you know, I have to post a video on here, but like I made a video on TikTok today earlier where this guy was talking about like he doesn't understand like why singleness with women is being promoted. And so I ended up like stitching, or I guess adding his video to my video, right? And well, a large part of the reason why singleness is being promoted is because of the simple fact that women understand that it's like a high level of disappointment when you're deciding to deal with men, honestly. So it's just a high level of disappointment that you're gonna get. Have you ever had men play with their knife in front of you? No. And girl, listen, I remember one time I hooked up with this guy. I hooked up with this guy. This wasn't really that long ago. It was around this time last year. It was a little bit over a year. And I met him on one of those, like, I met him on one of those apps or whatever. Those apps were like, you like make an arrangement for payment. Yeah, I met him on one of those apps, and we like did our thing or whatever, right? And so he's like talking about like future arrangements that we could have. And he was like talking about like some like BDSM type of things or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, like, how do you feel about like being tied up and yada yada yada?" And I was like, "Honestly, I don't want to do that." And then he said, "I have a knife in my," he was like, "I have a knife in my pocket. So I would be able to like unbind you immediately." And I was like, "All right, we're done." That was weird. That was weird. I don't need to stick around. I don't need to stick around for anymore. And so I never talked to that guy again. even talking about even talking about like those things, no. Mm-mm. Oh my god, I work as an ophthalmic tech, and he thought it was cute to show me his knife before his photos. It's like, dude, no. She said, "I'm dodging my main guy's work of it today. Ain't nobody want to sit there bored with people you don't know." Exactly. They want you to just sit pretty. They want you to just sit pretty with a bunch of strangers, and like either you work the room in support of him, or like you just sit there and they just like pawn you off or show you off like a little show dog. Like, no. I'm not doing that. Mm-mm, I'm not doing that. He was super creepy. Like, why the F do they think that's normal? Yes. So I never hung out with that guy again. I was like, oh no. Mm-mm. I was like, all right, so this is it. I'm gonna get my Uber and I'm gonna go home. I was like, it's time for us to wrap this up because no. And that was it. I never did one of those again. Never did one of those again. What about if they come over and put their GUN on your coffee table? Um, honestly, I honestly I look at it like this. If you're coming over to a woman's house and you're a man bringing a firearm over inside of a woman's house, you could have kept that in your fucking car. Like, honestly, I kind of feel like you could keep that in your car. There's no need for you to bring a firearm unless you're trying to use it as a form of intimidation to with a woman. Like, you could keep that shit in your car. Why are you a grown man bringing a firearm in the house of a woman? Like, that's just crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. Like, you're a man. Physically, you're already stronger, so you already have the advantage. There literally would be no reason why you need to bring a firearm. And I would have been like, can you put that shit in your car? Yeah, I heard that they're trying to sue Uber and Lyft for promoting women's only drivers. Have you all noticed men only come in community in opposition of women? Men don't ever come into community for no other reason. They only come together in opposition of women. They don't have any camaraderie with one another unless it is in opposition of women. Yep. As a gay, bi curious man, I am too scared to take a chance on men thanks to crime documentaries. Yeah, like men have an inherent danger to not only men, but to women. Like the number one type of violence that men commit is against other men. Like they commit violence against one another the most. That's insane. That's pure insanity. Like it's not safe. It's not safe dealing with them. A guy told me I'm not a good person, but also not a bad person either. Never spoke to him again. Oh, yeah, he told you everything. But what if they give the excuse of they're trying to protect you with the firearm? If they're trying to push back at you, girl, I wouldn't even be arguing with them at that point. I wouldn't even argue with them at that point. I would just play it cool. I would just play it cool at that point and never let that guy come back in my house. Because it's going to be in very rare cases that a man is even going to need a firearm to protect you in the first place. It's going to be very rare. Yeah, exactly. What if the guy isn't even out? What if you're dealing with a DL man? Like, no thanks. It's just not safe dealing with men. And the thing about it is that what men don't realize is that like they double down on how harmful they are. Like, remember when they had that thing talking about like the man and the bear, and women were saying that they rather choose the bear over the man? Men were upset. Like when you think about this from like think about this. Men were upset because women chose an animal to harm them over a man. Men were literally upset that Women rather have an animal harm them than a man harm them. Do you know how much of a sick fuck you have to be upset that you're not getting chosen of having the privilege to harm a woman? That a woman is not picking you to harm them? Do you know how much of a sick person you have to be upset over such a thing? Yeah, if you pick up on what a man is doing and a man is still trying to convince you that that's not what it is and you have a weapon involved, you have to de-escalate the situation by not reacting. Because if they see you reacting, they have the tool that they need to get you back to where they need you to go. So if they're already trying to show like, well, no, I'm using this to protect you, like, I'm not even gonna argue back. I'm just gonna play it cool and just say, okay, no worries, and do what I gotta do. Mhm. Exactly. That was the first thing I thought. I'm like, men are mad over the fact that they're not the preference to attack a woman. If somebody can't see something insane with that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. And speaking of crime channels, like this was like a really good analysis that I ended up seeing, because this is the reason why I like to watch, like, I don't like to watch crime channels. I like to watch content creators that cover crime, because a lot of the time what crime channels will do, they tend to always show you random attacks. So like burglaries, robberies gone wrong, people traveling and someone harming them. But that literally only makes up like 20% of the attacks that happen against women. The other 80% of attacks against women is typically in regards to somebody that she knows. So what they do is like they try to constantly put it in your subconscious that like it's going to be the person, your chances of being attacked, like it's going to be a random person, when actually in most cases it's going to be somebody that you know. It's not going to be a random person in most cases. And they do that because if they just only show like if they only show a majority of like true crime of it being like someone in a relationship or someone in a marriage and like the husband like harms them, obviously it's going to make people think twice about getting partnered up and paired up with somebody. But unfortunately, the person that's going to harm you is typically the person that knows you. I'm not a good person, but also not a bad person either, means that this is a man who won't physically hurt you, but he is someone that most likely will emotionally and mentally hurt you. Because whenever a man says that they're a good man, usually they're men refer to two things when it comes to their like goodness and like their level of masculinity. Men's goodness is only based in physical. So men will consider themselves a good man when they haven't put their hands on a woman, right? But they're never going to talk about like them manipulating, them lying, them cheating. So essentially he's saying like, I'm a manipulator, I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, but I won't put my hands on you. For that reason, I am not afraid to fight a man. LOL. Is that bad? No, it's not bad at all. I can't tell you how many times I've been able to get out of like scary situations with men because like I just stood my guard. Like I just stood my guard, or I just acted crazy. Like I think women forget the fact, like, if you've ever been a woman and like you've seen someone have the fawn response in response to you, It makes you feel good. Okay. Like, I'm just going to be dead honest about it because, like, this, like, I did bodybuilding. So, like, I've been used to people being intimidated by me, and I've been used to people having the fawn response over me, meaning, like, I'll meet them and they'll, like, kind of like shell up or like kind of be nervous or kind of be scared. It does make you feel good when you're a person that's able to get a response out of somebody like that. So once you understand the power that you give another person when you have a fond response, you understand how off-putting it is when you show somebody that, like, you're gonna fight them, especially with a man, because they're banking off the fact that you have a fond response, or that, like, you're gonna do, like, or you're gonna run away, like, you're gonna have a flight response. Very few men are expecting for women to have a fight response. They're either expecting for you to flight, so, like, run away from them, or they're expecting for you to fawn. So, you just, like, giving in and just giving them what it is that they want. Very rarely are they expecting for you to, like, actually fight back. So this is why when women, like, actually run towards someone following them, the person is usually going to run the fuck away because they're not expecting that. Like, when you're yelling at them, shouting at them, like, acting crazy, they're not expecting that response. And, like, men still have the ability to have fear be activated, and I think women forget that. Like, men are still human. Fear is a basic human emotion. And so when men are used to women either running away or fawning, you're going to instill fear in a man when they see that you're going to, like, fight back. Yep, I did. I saw that. I saw the girl that pulled out her bloody pad and she pulled out her pepper spray and they left her alone. How do I fight back without losing my shit? That's the point. That's the point. Like, you should be coming off as crazy as possible. Like, if you act crazy first, in most cases, you're not going to have to fight back. In most cases, the man's going to be too scared. Like, lose your shit first. Like, just start going hysterical. Just start screaming and freaking out. Just start freaking the fuck out. And in most cases, you're not going to have to fight back. Most of the time, the man's going to be like, this bitch is crazy. Let me get away from her. So just act crazy first, act hysterical first, and be aware of your surroundings. Like, I don't walk with, like, headphones in, and, like, if somebody's walking behind me, I always turn around, and I'll regularly turn around too. Like, I want them to know. I want them to know that I'm watching them. I want them to know that I see that they're behind me. Oh, you must be behind in the live stream. I already talked about what'll happen if you're dealing with a man that has grown kids. Yeah, the permission to fully crash out, the social embarrassment, social humiliation, and the attention that gets make these guys cringe. They don't want to be recognized or recorded usually. Yeah. Has anyone ever kicked a man out and he refused to leave your home? Yup. That literally happened to my ex-boyfriend. That literally happened to my ex-boyfriend, and he was, like, so pissed off because I essentially started shaming him. I essentially started shaming him, and I pretty much, like, called him a nuisance and pretty much said that, like, he was annoying because he just he didn't wanna leave my house, and, like, men will do that to assert dominance over you. That's why I don't let them come over. I do not let them come over. And he was so mad. He's like, "You were saying that I was annoying, and you were saying that I was a burden, and you were saying I don't listen, and I don't." And I said, "Yeah, you don't listen because I said I told you that you agree that you were gonna be out of my house at a certain time, and yet you're still here. And, like, I have work. like, get the fuck out of my place. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't want you here. I told you that I don't want you here. And it has everything to do with the fact that they want to test your boundaries. They want to test your boundaries and they want to assert dominance over you in your own home. No. Like, no, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, it's okay, you can stay here." Like, no, the fuck you can't. I told you what time you had to be gone up out of here, and I'm looking around and I still see you in front of me. So it's like, no. Mm-mm. Nope. Get them up out of there. Get them up out of there and call the police. Call the police. And also, like, honestly, if you're a woman and like you want to do your best to like avert those things happening, like just be a big huge red flag, honestly. Just be a big huge red flag. Like men look for targets. They literally look for targets. They look for people that they see to be weak and things like that. You said they are slow. Yeah, men try to dominate you in a relationship when you have your no men in your family to defend you. Exactly. And like my dad, like, oh my God, my dad is so well connected. My dad is so well connected. And when I tell men who my father is, they're like, don't even worry about it. Like I had one guy come over when I was like living at my dad's place and he was like, "Are there cameras in here?" He was like, "Are there cameras in here?" And I had one guy, he's like, "That's who your father is?" I'm like, "Yeah." And my father was a Freemason, so I could only imagine the amount of connections that he has. Like, I can only imagine the amount of connections that he has because my father was a Freemason. So, yeah, my father is not playing. I could be in another country and he would send somebody there to do something that needed to get done. Mhm. You said LMAO, my firearm instructor is one, and I say being hella nosy. I can't get much information out of my father when it comes to the Freemason stuff, which obviously understandable. Like it's a secret society and like it's heavy and like a cult and like they don't even allow women to be a part of the lodge. There are some female lodges, like there are some lodges where it's women only, but Freemasonry is pretty much only for men. I'm going to be posting on the Patreon this week. I'm going to be posting on the Patreon this week. I'm honestly going back and forth. I'm going back and forth on if I should keep the spiritual channel because then if I don't keep the spiritual channel, then I'll be doing all the spiritual stuff over on the Patreon. Um, I'm trying to decide what to do because the thing about Patreon is that like I kind of feel as though like there's only so much content that I can make, and like I would like to add like more exclusive content to the Patreon, but I don't really know what else to add. I really don't know what else to add. And so yeah, there's one girl that I know that is an Eastern Star. There is one girl that I know that is an Eastern Star, but I'm trying to figure this. But aside from that, I am trying to figure this like whole thing out with the Patreon. My spiritual channel is Queen the Mystic. You're probably not going to find it in the search because like the channel is like so like it's it's low performing. Spirituality is like usually they use AI for spirituality content on here that does really well. It's usually all AI generated stuff. But if you go in my link, if you go in my description and go to my link tree, you'll find the link to the spiritual channel there. It'll be easier for you to find it. So we'll see. Oh, what's super disturbing? What's super disturbing? Tell me. I think you should post some spiritual stuff here and then the rest on Patreon. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And another thing too is that like the things that I would want to talk about, like the really, really occult things that I want to talk about, they definitely won't let you talk about it on YouTube. Yeah, like a lot of the content that they're rewarding for like the spiritual stuff, like a lot of it is AI generated. Like the channels of like women where they just kind of like talk. I mean, like, okay, tarot reading is like pretty popular, but like when they actually like inform you of like spirituality stuff, a lot of the time it's just a freaking like video that they're playing, like some animated video that they're playing, and then it has the text, and then it has like an AI generated like voice, like reading everything. Like that's what they're rewarding. I love Sheer Seven's content. I don't really watch her content. I don't really watch it as much. Just because like I mean, I feel as though like the content's pretty redundant. I mean, I already know all of the things that Shira Seven like talks about or whatever. Um, I don't know. Me personally, I kind of feel as though like I've already told y'all I was a stripper, okay? You're going to find the most providers up in the industry. Like, I mean, freestyling is cool, but I like going to the rich side of town like, bruh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And women have a 9 to 5. I'm not telling women to give up their 9 to 5 to go to a restaurant and spend money in hopes of getting a fucking man. Like I'm sorry, like I'm just not doing that. I'm not doing that. Just go do a few shifts at the club and get your mouthpiece together. And if you're at and if you're at a really, really, really good club, like you'll get decent men to spend money on you on the weekend and do it that way. Like you're already making a job out of it anyway, calling out of work, getting your clothing together, spending gas to go to the rich side of town, spending money to, you might as well spend that money on a pair of pleasers. You might as well spend your money on a pair of pleasers and some cute little outfits and do it that way. Just get money from men that way. Right. And the thing about it is that Shira had to freestyle for 2 weeks, and that was like 20 years ago. That was like 20 years ago when it took her 2 weeks. Could you imagine doing that shit now? It's so different now. It's so different now. So I kind of feel as though like her head is in the right place. Her head is legit like in the right place. And like the content is helping women because now they understand and not settle for dust and deal with dust. Um, However, like the content as far as like it overall with that playbook, I mean it's wildly outdated. It's wildly outdated. We got technology now. We're chronically on our phone. A lot of men have social anxiety. We got fans only. You know, men could just pay to talk to a woman and see her naked without having to leave the house. He could do it in the comfort of his own home. So I kind of feel as though the information is coming from the right place, but like the execution is it's not going to match what she did 20 years ago. It's just not going to have the same return on the investment. It's difficult as hell now because men have made a culture out of being cheap because the manosphere has created this irrational fear for men to have of gold diggers. And it's like, in order for you to attract gold diggers, you have to have gold. Like, these fears are irrational. These fears are irrational that these men have. So, like, men are making it their personality now to essentially be like, we're not giving women anything. These women are gold diggers. And so men internalize it so much that like you're not going to be able to get nothing out of them really. The culture is way different. Like 15 years ago, 15 years ago, like men prided themselves on spending money on women. You know, men prided themselves on spoiling a woman. And now they're like, you want dinner? You want dinner? Oh, no. That's gonna cost you your punani. You ask for dinner, you gotta pay that $50 we spent at Applebee's. Mm-mm. Nope. You gonna have to pay with your punani. You meet men in decent places, but are you getting these decent men to pay your bills? No one cares about meeting a man in a decent place. Who cares? Who cares about meeting someone? Is these bills getting paid? Is you able to take off of work 3 to 6 months out the year? Don't nobody care about meeting someone. What are you getting out of the meeting? Until these men are paying bills, until these men are able to have you kick your feet up and you not have to work, or you can reduce the amount of work that you're doing, you're not meeting a decent man. You're just meeting a man that was nice to you because he wanted to have sex with you. All men are going to be decent to women that they want to sleep with. Like, let's make that clear. Like, let's not give men credit for being decent. Your men are going to be decent to women that they want to sleep with. So that's why it doesn't count. He only decent unless he's spending money. Yeah, men, this is the reason why in my brain I'm like, dude, I'm definitely not going to sit here and expect anything from men because women are out here not caring. They're like, oh, you want to know what? I'm going to offer up cooking and cleaning and did it up. Well, then you don't need me. It's plenty. This is why when men are talking about, I can't find a good woman. I can't find a good woman. Did it? It's like, okay, then I know something's wrong with you because you got women out here serving everything on a silver platter, and you still can't, and you're still talking about how hard it is to find a woman. You're the problem. You're the problem. And the reason why they can't find a woman is because they're trying to get a baddie to go 50-50. That's never happening. You're not going to find a baddie going 50-50. You're not going to find a woman going 50-50 that's also going to submit to you. Like, they want modern perks. They want modern woman perks with a traditional woman mindset. That's not going to work. Yeah, he said he shouldn't have to go to a different country to find a good woman. He was over here talking about how he shouldn't have to go to a different country to find a good woman. Of course, Shearer's method is still working. Shearer's method is working. I said that already. Don't y'all be coming over here starting shit between me and Shira. If y'all do, you're getting blocked. Because I hate it when y'all do that. I hate it when y'all do that. I'll agree with what she's saying, and y'all will still make it a pissing contest between content creators. If you do it one more time, I'm blocking you. Like, I do not take that lightly. I can't stand that. But yeah, like, oh my God. So listen to this, y'all. So I was stalking someone's Instagram that like I used to talk to like a long time ago. And like, oh my God, he looks exhausted. Like, when this is the thing, I just don't understand what the lie that like Mr. Kevin Samuels told all these men when it comes to them thinking that men want or women want older men. No, women don't want older men. Women want men with money, and older men tend to have a little bit more money than younger men. Women don't want an older man because why would younger women want wrinkles, crow's feet, high blood pressure, diabetes, and impotence? Like, they're trying to make it seem as if women are like, yeah, I want my man to have gout. I want my man to have gout. I want him to have wrinkles. I want him to have crow's feet. I want him to have diabetes, and I want him to have impotence. Like, what? That's what these in the brains of men, they have it in their head that women, these are the things that women are listing off, that the things that they will want in a freaking older man. Like, no, they want your freaking money. Like, you're forgetting the correlation here. Like, they don't want you older because you look better older. They want you older because you have money. It's the money that they want. Like no one is listing all of the aging things. And in men's brain, they don't have an aging process. In their brain, only women have an aging process. Listen, the guy that I was talking to, I just seen a video that he posted. He he's gonna be, I think he just turned 36. He looks like he's closer to 40. Like, I'm literally watching the video right now. Like, when I saw his video, I was just like what? Like, huh? And these are the same men that are like, I'm not in any rush. I'm not in any rush to get with somebody. It's like, sir, you legit have 30 minutes. Your dick is about to cut off in 30 minutes. You're a doctor's visit and a prescription refill away from having your dick not operate anymore. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I remember there was a video, listen to this. So there was a video that I seen on TikTok, and it was this girl, this woman. And this woman said that she has a male friend, and her male friend is now feeling the reciprocal of how he used to be picky back in the day. So her male friend is an older man dealing with a younger woman. She didn't say how old the male was, but she said that the younger woman is like either 25 or 27. And he was complaining to his, homegirl. He was complaining to his homegirl because his young girlfriend has expressed to him she's having issues with her attractability to him because he has gout. So he got gout. So he got to be 40 plus. He probably 50. So this young thing is expressing to him like she's having a hard time with like the attraction because she's not attracted to him. He's old and he has gout. And so he was telling his homegirl that it's bothering him that like his young girlfriend feels that way. Well, she threw it in his face and she said, well, you actually had a young thing. You actually had a young thing who was like really, really attractive that you were with, and she cooked for you, she cleaned for you, she did all these things for you. And you want to know why he ended up not dealing with her? He told his homegirl that the reason why he didn't want to deal with her anymore was because she had a baby like years prior, and it gave her stretch marks. And he would tell his homegirl, like, yeah, like her stomach reminds me of like oatmeal cream pies. Like her stomach is like, I just can't get past the stretch mark thing. And he was like, I'm going to have to dump her because she's got stretch marks. And so he dumped her. So now he's the one with something that can't be looked past because he has gout. And now he feels some type of way because his 20-something-year-old girlfriend is like, you're old and you have gout and like it's not attractive. And so now he's pissed off about it. But this is why I say like these men, they just think that they're gonna have it. They think that they're gonna have access to these young women, so they'll just find any little thing wrong and then get rid of them. As if like no, like you got lucky. You got lucky to get a young woman in the first place, and you're gonna discard her. You're gonna discard her like you finna get another one and another one and another one. Now you got to do work to keep this one that you got because she over here telling you that she's not attracted to you because you have gout and you're old. Like in their brain, they really think that they're just going to be able to replace these young women. In their brain, they're thinking like, oh yeah, like once I'm done, like I'll just toss her off to the side and I'll get another one. And when I don't like something with her, I'll get another one. The tables turn really, really fast. The tables turn really, really fast. It's like, dude, you're old and you have gout. Like, what? Like, Like these men really in their brain, they just think that that's just something that women are supposed to look past. This is why when women say things, "Oh, I'll love you anyway, even when you gain 300 pounds, even when you're the," I get quiet because not over here. Not over here. Men never put them, men do not deal with discomfort at all. Men are horrible with discomfort. I literally had someone tell me, I had someone tell me, a friend of mine at a place that I used to work at, there was this really attractive doctor that worked there, and he's engaged to get married. So we're catching up on all the tea. She catching me up on all the tea, right? And she said that the doctor and the fiance, they went out on a date, but the fiance, the girl, her friend was in town, so they invited the girlfriend out with. So it was the couple and then the fiance's homegirl. They went out to dinner. They ended up having an argument in the car. Why did the man watch them fight and he didn't do anything? He didn't do anything. He just sat there and watched his fiance and her friend fight. He didn't do anything. And I guess when she asked him, like, my friend was like beating me up and like she was pulling my hair and you didn't do anything, he was like, well, I felt uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable. And so I didn't want to do anything. Men do not do well when they feel uncomfortable. They don't do well when they feel uncomfortable. This is the reason why, as you can see, it don't take much to make a man feel uncomfortable. He was like, "I don't," he's like, "I didn't feel uncomfortable," and I'm like, "Chow, like, chow, like, what, like," yeah. So, yeah, this is the reason why it's just like, yeah, no, they don't ever put themselves in a predicament where they're gonna be uncomfortable. They're always gonna leave when they're uncomfortable. So, like, if you have children and the children are too much of a burden and they're uncomfortable, they're gonna leave you and the children. If you look a certain way and they're not comfortable or attracted to you with how you look, they're going to leave. If you get an illness and you can't perform to the level that you were performing at, they're going to leave. Like, men don't do well with discomfort. Men absolve themselves from any level of, uncomfortability. I dated a Marine for 3 years, not knowing I was getting trained the whole time, and people encouraged me to stay with him because he was paying the rent. Like, girl, nah, they're still getting married. They're still getting married because I guess his fiance is a teacher. So, you already know what she's thinking. She's thinking dollar signs because, yeah, doctors, he's a radiologist too. Radiologists make a lot of money. So, you know, she's like, "Shit, that's a big come up. That's a big come up." And I could turn a blind eye. I could turn a blind eye to my friend whooping on me and him not doing anything. Guys, what insane, uncomfortable questions can you ask men, especially old ones, when on a date? Ask them what their PSA levels are. Ask them what their PSA levels are. He's gonna be like, my PSA levels. He's either going to look that way because he ain't never been to the doctor, or number two, he's going to be shocked that you asked him, that you would have the audacity to ask him that. That's his prostate serum level. So you can, if when you're dealing with an old man, a quick way to make an old man feel uncomfortable is to remind him that he's old. That's the easiest way to make an old man feel uncomfortable. Remind him of his health. Remind him of his health. What is your A1C? What is your PSA level? Have you written your will yet? Have you gotten your will? Is it time for you to schedule your colonoscopy? Were you alive in World War II? Go even further, say World War One, like make it seem like he's really old. Like, so what were you doing in World War One? Be in the car and be like, I heard a song. I heard a song and it reminded me of you. I bet you remember this song. Girl, play some song from the 1920s. Play a song from the 1920s and put it on in the car and be like, I bet you'll love this song. Do you know this song? I know you know this song. This is old school. What was segregation like? I'm hollering. When men are talking about when they were in their 20s, I'm like in the 40s and 50s. So there you go, girl. We gave you plenty. We gave you plenty of questions to ask. Gave you plenty of questions to ask. He gonna be like, damn, I feel old now. You said he might pass out with these questions. How was the Civil War? I bet you don't even have to ask him. You don't even have to ask him a question. Just already put it on him. That really kill him. That already just already put him on him. Be like, I'm sure it was so hard for you during the Civil War. Don't even ask him no question. How was watching a movie in black and white? How was watching a movie in color for the first time? Girl, that man is gonna croak over if you ask him all them questions. That man is going to croak over. He gonna look in the mirror when he get back home and be like, damn, I'm old. Damn, I'm old. He gonna be like, you're gonna question his whole existence. Be like, did you hear that they're getting rid of the penny? Did you hear they're getting rid of the penny? I bet you were able to buy a burger with a few of those. I bet you were able to buy some milk with a few of those. Old men always fucking sing. Like, even if you play an old song, they're always gonna sing it. Cause see, old men are old school, and so they still live in the thing of like serenading women, because back in their day, singing was a way to serenade a woman. They're getting their Frankie Lyman on. So old men, I can't tell you how many old men. Like the last old man I was dealing with was in his 60s. Baby, he was singing to me. He took me to Maestros or Mastros, however you want to pronounce it. Girl, he was singing up at that table. I was like, oh my God, he is over here singing to me. She said, not too much on the drive-in movies, though, because I love a drive-in movie. I'm hollering. I'm hollering. But yeah, you definitely have to always remind them that they are old. You got to, because society doesn't remind them enough that they're old. Right, the Temptations. Please remind them that they're old. Please remind them that they're old. Yes, old men talk so much. Old men talk so much. Like, no, sir, you're getting reminded that you're old. Okay? You are one fall away. You are one fall away from me being able to control everything. Cuz that's another thing. That's another thing with these older men. The younger ones aren't smart enough. Okay? The younger ones aren't smart enough. These old men got old bones, baby. These old men got old bones. They are a hip replacement and a knee replacement in 6 to 8 weeks of recovery away from you having control over everything. Like, they be so quick to forget that. Like, sir, all it's going to take is a little bit of baby oil. All it's going to take is for a little bit of baby oil to accidentally be on this goddamn bathroom floor when you walk up out of your shower, and it's over for you, sir. It's over for you. The credit card's going to be all spent up. All them credit cards gonna be spent up. You gonna be at home. You ain't gonna have nobody to help you, nobody to walk you. And it's like, nope. Like, nope, I'm not even gonna be a nurse. I'm not gonna be a nurse in a purse. You're gonna be the purse because you're gonna be at home. You can't even get to the toilet without me helping you. So I'm getting that wallet and I'm getting them cards and I'm having me a good old time at the mall. A good old time at the mall. I'm gonna hire you. I'm gonna hire you an aide though. I'm gonna hire you a home care nurse to make sure you're taken care of. But once they hit that slip and fall and they got to get that hip replacement or that knee replacement, you in business, baby. Get that money and hire them a little nurse. Hire them a little nurse and go ghost. Right. Yeah, the jab, they said that on average, like the jab had a considerable amount of men die from the jab and from C-19 in comparison to women. Like that C-19 took the men out in droves in comparison to women. Actually, one of my old coworkers, her husband had died from C-19. They both had it. They both had C-19, but he did not survive. Once you see a walker or cane, it's over. And girl, if he can't see, then you really in business. You really in business. He got them glasses and he has a cane, baby. Baby, all you gotta do is hide them glasses, hide that cane. he not getting far at all. He not getting far at all. And I work in healthcare, so I know that'd be the first thing they be looking for. They want to take their glasses off during the exam. The glasses is the first thing. It's the first thing they're looking for. Where are my glasses? Like, here you go, sir. And then next they're over here like, all right, I gotta find my cane. Where's my cane? Here you go, sir. Here's your cane. Hide them glasses and you in business, girl. Get him stepping on a Lego. Get you a Lego from the kids' room. And baby, that man's gonna be screaming and you're gonna hear a thump like, oh my God. Potluck, nice. Yeah, a blind man will never see it coming. A blind man will never see it coming, baby. Those are the best ones, the ones that can't see anything. The ones that can't see anything are my favorite. I'm like, yes, poor vision. Anna Nicole's ex-husband looked super happy. He was so happy. He's like, yes, I got me a fine young thing. I got me a fine young thing and I'm dying happy. Too freaking funny. Y'all, like the past 2 days, I feel a lot better now, but for the past 2 days, I had the worst seasonal depression. Like the worst seasonal depression. Like the fact that the days are shorter. Mm-mm. The Florida sunshine cannot cure the fact that the days are shorter. It can't. It cannot hide the fact that the days are shorter. Yeah, like honestly, I'm telling you, the fact that it is just so freaking like the sun, it don't even matter because the days are so short. The seasonal depression, I was like so sad. I didn't know that that many planets were in retrograde. That might be why too, because I'm depressed as hell. I'm depressed as hell. I can I barely want to get out of bed. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Indiana, so I know how it is in the Midwest, especially during the fall and in the winter. I know how it is. Okay, good. I'm glad that I'm not alone because I was depressed as hell. I'm still a little bit depressed. Like, and it's kind of been like that it's kind of been like that the past couple weeks, but like the past few days, oh my God. I'm in Missouri and I hate cold weather. Yeah, that's the only thing is that at least it's warm here. At least it's warm here, but I'm used to having 4 seasons. I still don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about it being warm here in the winter because, like, I'm a winter baby. I like the snow. So it's a little strange to me. It is. It's a little strange to me. I'm not used to this. I don't like it, but I don't dislike it. But it's like, I want to be able to wear like clothes again. And like, I can't really wear any clothes for real. I can't really wear any clothes for real. And I'm just like, ugh. Like, I don't want to wear shorts and like, I don't want to wear that type of clothing all the time. I don't. So I'm definitely taking my butt back to the Midwest. I am. I'm definitely taking my butt back to the Midwest for a little bit because I like the snow. It's cool outside now. It's a little bit cooler, so the humidity isn't as bad. I lived in New York already. I don't see myself going back to New York. I don't. I don't see myself going back there unless it's for like 48 hours to get some food. Yeah, like, I want some snow. Like, honestly, I want some snow. I like having all 4 seasons. I think I did hear about a man setting the young girl on fire on the train in Chicago. I think I did. You said I looked at rentals in Cleveland. I'm sick of it here. And Therese actually started following me on TikTok, but I haven't seen that video. But she literally just started following me. New York is busy and like it's not terrible. It's just being in the city during the winter, like I hate it being wet and then the train and then the buses and the snow and ugh. And like you have to ride public transport in New York City. Like that's the thing about the winter there that I don't like. Like I don't mind the winter at all if I can just get in my car and be in the comfort of my car. I don't care about that. Having to rely on public transport in New York in the winter is just ghetto. I don't have my nails done because of pole dancing. I don't. It's too hard. It is. It's too hard. I was breaking them. They were getting in the way. Once my skill set gets to a level where, because like my fingers constantly keep my fingers get caught very easily because my thighs are on the thicker side, so my fingers get caught easily. So that's the reason why. Because like I do pole dancing and like I'm really serious about it because I go back and forth on doing my nails and with pole it's just not gonna it just doesn't make sense. Shopping for your closet, never heard of it. It's either my nails are naturally long, like they grow like they're really strong. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been nice having my natural nails be like so strong. It took so long for my nails to get back healthy after like growing all of the damage that was off of them. I mean, they really weren't that damaged, but you want to know what? Your nails are never going to be healthy to the level that they are without anything on them as opposed to something being on them. I just love how healthy my nails are with nothing on them. They're so healthy. So it's been nice to like look at my nails and like they're just so strong. Cause I haven't been using any polish, no nothing, like not even on my toes. Like I just make sure everything is like trimmed and like manicured, but like the health of my nails, cause like even like my toenails, like they were so freaking like fragile and like thin. So I got rid of everything because like the strength of my nails is just amazing. But I don't like short nails. I don't like short nails. I did make a poll Instagram. I'm not ready to share it yet because I'm gonna get a home poll and then I'm gonna make content there because like it's kind of like I don't know. I have a higher level of creativity. I have a higher level of creativity when I can like do things outside of classes. You know what I mean? The more money you have, just the easier life is going to be. At least in my experience, like having money makes life easier. I naturally have long nails and I hate when the nail salon cuts them. Yeah. And like literally I have a whole like no chip kit and I'm getting rid of it. I'm not even keeping it because like I thought I was going to be a DIY girly. I'm not going to be a DIY girly. I'm not. I don't even know why I got that shit, why I got that kit. I'm not a DIY girly. It's either I'm getting my nails done and my toes done at the salon or like I'm not doing it. I'm not a DIY girly. Usually around this time, because I took a break last year from my nails being done around this time too, and I didn't get them done. It's like Beatles. It's the Beatles kit, and like I was using it for my toes, so I was doing my toes at home while I was still getting my nails done because it was just kind of a waste for me to like get pedicures because I can do those fine. Um, but I'm lazy and also like I've been really saving money. I've been really, really, really saving money. Um yeah, like, I've been really trying to get my money saving together, although I did just order a new wig, and then um there was a really cute jogging set that I was waiting to go on sale because it's got rhinestones on it, and it went on sale for Black Friday, and it really did go on sale. They didn't, like, pump up the price, slash through it, and then make it the normal price, and so I ended up purchasing that today. But, I've been saving my money and, like, I am gonna be, I am gonna be in a predicament where I'm like, "No," like, this has been a good test for me to not find things to spend my money on, honestly, because I want more freedom. I do, I want even more freedom than I have. So, it's been good for me. Yeah, so I have a whole kit to get rid of. I'm purging so much shit. Like when I tell y'all there's so many things that I'm purging, it's ridiculous. My pleaser collection is everything. Oh, it's so nice. It is. Oh, and I did order a new pair of shoes. I did. I ordered a new pair of shoes, and then that's it for me. That's it for me. I ain't spending money on nothing else. I ain't spending money on nothing else. I got what I needed, but I'm purging a lot of stuff. Like, I'm getting rid of a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes. I am purging a lot of things. I wonder if that was in the card for me for retrograde. I gotta go to an astrologer channel and see. But maybe that's why I feel so bleh. Because I didn't know all those damn planets were in retrograde. I had no idea. Had no clue. But we're gonna be fine. We're gonna we're gonna power through. I didn't even watch the first Wicked. I didn't even watch the first Wicked. Cynthia and Ariana, I wish they would just like become a couple already. I mean, that would require for Cynthia to get divorced, but I wish they would just hurry up and do it already. They're like wildly in love with with each other, it looks like. I gotta watch it. But no, they really do need to get together. I'm like, "Oh my god, the emotions are so heightened when they're together." And like they just find reasons to touch each other. And when that guy attacked Ariana Grande, like Cynthia, like she swooped in like true protector. I was like, "Damn." Yeah, I think Ariana's relationships with men don't last because like I think Ariana just deals with men just for like PR and for press. It gets the people talking, like, because you could tell like she's checked out with this guy. You could tell she's checked out with this guy. Ariana has a lot of arrested development, I think. Like, and that's the thing too. Like, child stars, like, I don't know. I don't know. With child stars, that's hard. That's hard. And knowing everything we now know about who she was working under. And then when you watch the scenes that they had them acting out and how suggestive it was, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I want a girlfriend like Cynthia now. LOL. She's a badass. She really is. She's super, super cool. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I am. I'm gonna get off of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Um, I got to come up with something to talk about for the Patreon because I haven't posted on there in like 2 weeks. I got to think about what I want to talk about on Patreon. Maybe I'll talk about something financial in regards to finances because the ladies got to get their money up, especially because like I guess they're like doing this thing where they're considering pretty much like mostly like women led forms of education is like it not being an advanced level of education. I got to talk about that. But yeah, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.